And then you say, like, why do you just laugh every time I start? Because you do stuff like that. How can I take you seriously?
After all these years of friendship, I like the fact that I can still surprise you.
Oh, it's not a surprise, but yet somehow
you laugh like it's the first time you've ever seen it.
I mean, buffering.
Yeah, clearly.
Oh, man.
All right. I'm getting aboard the train. I'm on the train, leaving the station. I'm on the Zack Snyder train. Initially, I wasn't before. Hell, back when the whole release of Snyder Cut, I was, John Campea. From the John Campea show.
Never heard of him.
Hey, lovely Canadian. You love him.
Oh, Canadian automatically off the list. He just made the list.
All right, calm down there, Jericho. John Campea once said that whenever people would talk about the Snyder Cut, release the Snyder Cut, and he would go and say, listen, I can understand you guys wanting this to be released, but is there a cut to be released? All right. He goes, I'm not denying that he has a portion of his film. Is it edited, ready to go, and all the other stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone would give him grief. Constant grief, like, Johnny, you don't know what you're talking about, and all this other stuff. And then it was revealed, all right, just in the Snyder Cut coming out, but it's going to require about 20 to 30 million, which, funny enough, the head of Warner Brothers went and said, I wish it cost only that.
Oh, you mean plus the 300 million plus the 30 million, and the fact that it only made 658 million in box office, and then now they're putting more money in?
Let's not forget about $13 for the light bulb they had to change on set.
Oh, yeah. This is getting an expensive project.
Yeah, it's quite the expensive project. But when Snyder was when it was revealed that there's a Snyder Cut, and Warner Brothers did the genius thing, or maybe it was AT&T, who knows? They did the genius thing about saying, okay, we're going to release the Snyder Cut on HBO Max. That's smart.
Yes.
Because similar to how when Disney was all like, hey, you guys like Star Wars, right? Mandalorian.
There you go.
And a bunch of people signed up. Of course, once Mandalorian ended, like, all right, I'm leaving.
That's why, from what I've heard, it's not going to be a one movie. It's going to be episodic.
Yeah,
so it's
more likely going to be episodic. It's going to play out like a 4-hour movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Or something like that. So when everyone started talking about it, I'm like, okay, I can see there's certain things he probably added and all that stuff. There's no way to go and really tell that this is going to be a phenomenal movie or anything like that. It's probably I've seen Justice League. It's probably just going to be extra scenes that I didn't see before.
Yeah.
And then he released a clip.
A teaser. Just
a teaser.
Just a taste. Just a taste.
Sample.
The first one's free.
A sampling, if you will. All right, to give us a taste of what we are what we are in stored for, come 2021. Rex, I don't know about you. Just from this clip alone,
yeah,
this feels drastically like a different movie.
This like literally. Right before we started recording, as DJ showed me the teaser because we had it in the notes and he sent it to me, the link to me, and I was like, I'll get to it. And when he showed me this teaser, I couldn't believe that it was even remotely related to Justice League. This does not look like the same movie in any way, shape, form, fashion, or manner. This is a whole different ballpark, and I hope that the mics aren't picking those fireworks up. Happy 4th of July. Well, by the time this comes out, very belated. But to me, that because we talked about the Snyder Cut originally.
Yes, we did.
And we were of the opinion that I was that it was that this is a lot of polishing to do. It's probably not really a Snyder Cut. He's just taking all the original footage. But what he did with you got me hyped now. Like the hype is real.
We always, when the moment there was murmurings of the Snyder Cut, we always felt that it was something up because whenever you look at the trailer for Justice League, there's a bunch of scenes in there that you're like, wait a minute, this wasn't in the movie yet. Like there was one particular scene in which you see Bruce Wayne just looking at a hologram of Superman, and that's not in there, and you just figure, oh, they just deleted that. I own that movie. No deleted scenes. Of the sort.
Yeah, and because I just when we first saw Justice League, I chucked it up to like the Rogue One, because you remember seeing Rogue One, like a lot, like the scene where the ship is coming up, and I forget what the actress name is, and she's running, and it's not even Forrest Whitaker's
lazy eye.
I was gonna say his speech is not even in there, like even remotely. So you could see that this was chopped up heavily and edited out. So I just assumed that that's the same situation. When murmurings of Justice League, just like when Justice League came out, there was Justice League. Oh yeah, they got the unrated edition that's gonna have more scenes, and yeah, it helps smooth a few things over, gloss, but it didn't change the whole movie. Didn't change the whole tone of the movie. This is a very different movie. This, I might like. Not saying I will. I might like it.
All right. The actress you were referring to, her name is Felicity Jones, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Maybe no, I'm not even gonna risk putting the scene in there because Disney and they are notorious for copyright claims.
Yeah,
and
we just went through one with Warner Brothers.
Yeah, and sorry folks if you saw that episode. What was it? This was the Matt Reeves episode.
Yeah, the Matt Reeves episode.
I had a beautiful intro.
Me and Rex really worked hard. I worked hard on the thumbnail. He worked hard on everything else.
Let me tell you, folks, I didn't want to lose this. I should just put it up by itself, and just hope that it doesn't get claimed. But yeah, so. To me, chalking it up like that is just, all right, it's just an L part of the movie industry. It is what it is. Yo, that Gal Gadot scene.
That's levity, doesn't it?
Yes. It's like, why would you change the direction of this?
And the funny part is the more and more I see certain things and all that other stuff, and I sat down and I rewatched Justice League. I own it.
Maybe I'll watch it tonight.
And that's when I came to the realization that, you know what? Because you and I always said, this movie feels tonally different. The first half to the second half.
Yeah, like in fact, to me, when I remember when I watched it, it felt like 3 different movies. Mm-hmm. It was like the first half was going on, then the second half was going on, and the third half, and nothing connected. Nothing felt the same. Nothing felt like it was adding to the story.
And everyone couldn't really focus because they kept looking at the weirdness of Henry Cavill's mouth.
The terrible good CG for Cyborg. You want to hear you want to know what the most memorable scene in Justice League to me was?
What's that?
Ride ain't over yet.
My man.
So to me, when that's your most memorable scene, you've got a problem.
I'm not going to lie. I'm partially disappointed about the fact that when the moment they announced the Snyder Cut was coming to HBO Max, Ray Fisher didn't tweet Jason Momoa, "Ride ain't over me yet."
Yo, that would
we can have the retort, "My man." Listen, I'm a man of simple taste. There's only a few things I ask for in life.
Yes,
this is definitely one of them. When I was speaking of Ray Fisher, I found this actually quite interesting. Ray Fisher actually recently just took to Twitter, and
what he did.
I thought it was very interesting. Before I even get into it, I just want to say this. Rex and I, we work on the show. We co-direct, even though he always puts my name in the director's credit.
Me direct, never heard of it. I want to talk to you about some chairs later.
Okay. I even to the point that I've attempted to write a couple of screenplays because there's certain things that I have in my head, and I have witnessed. I have a cousin who's tried the directing game. I've witnessed people attempt to do this. It is not an easy job, at all. And mind you, for a lot of these people that I see struggle with this ordeal, these are individuals that are working on projects they created, ideals they had from their own mind.
Yeah.
And they're trying to flesh out for the world to see. So when you have a man like Josh Whedon, from such fame as Avengers Age of Ultron, or even creating shows like Firefly, Buffy, Angel, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and he comes in, you bring him in under false pretenses to the audience, sound like, oh, we're talking to him about possibly directing a Batgirl movie. But essentially, he was coming in to polish up the Snyder's Justice League because they wanted to change so much stuff. You are now asking him to create a film that's based off of someone else's ideal. All right, you bringing him along to have him flesh out someone else's vision, and that is incredibly difficult.
Very. That is not and that's why I would never want to be a director.
There's only a few directors I know that could probably even pull it off. All right. I always said Justice League was a decent film, not an Avengers level film. Because I remember when I walked out, I went and I saw the Avengers with my best friend Javi. And we walked out of that theater, and I was like, oh my God, what did we just see? This was amazing. I had to go. I saw that movie 6 more times after the first viewing.
Really?
Yes, I love The Avengers. The Avengers is my favorite MCU movie.
Infinity War.
No, The Avengers.
Oh, okay, so you're referring to the very first one.
The very first Avengers movie. All right? When I saw Justice League, mind you, I was hyped for Justice League. I really was. All right? Every day I would wake up like, hey, the trailer? No trailer. No. And when the trailer dropped, like, oh, yeah. Okay, this doesn't look too bad. All right, let's check it out. Trailer didn't really thrill me, like how I felt thrilled with Avengers. But it did its job. It got me interested.
Yes.
I often say, whether jokingly or true, the best part of any movie you'll ever see is the trailer. You and I disagree on that fact because you don't like trailers.
Yes. But that's a whole different story.
Now, walking out of this film, I did not feel that. I felt...
Would you like to buy a foul?
I felt as confused as the tone was.
Mm-hmm.
I even when people were like, oh, what'd you think? I was like, it was good. And in the back of my head, there was a voice like, are you sure?
Yeah, that moment of, I want to say it was good, but my heart is telling me no.
But my body... Sorry. This is not the right setting for that. I apologize.
But yeah, what Ray Fisher said.
Yeah, exactly. Onto that.
I don't know. I
like
understand what he said and why he said it. I just don't think it was the most professional thing to say.
Yeah, it wasn't the most professional, and I personally, again, who the hell am I?
Yeah, right.
I don't condone it. I'm sorry, I don't. All right. He went to Twitter and he had tweeted out a clip of him at one of the cons, and he said, I actually had the quote written right here.
Yes, I have.
Let's see. I'd like to take a moment and forcefully. I'd like to take a moment to forcefully.
There you go.
Retract every bit of this statement. It was followed by a video in the video, they asked him about Josh Whedon coming on board for directing and cleaning up, into which he had stated, Josh Whedon is a good guy, and Zack picked a good person to clean up and finish up for him.
Yeah, he said he was the right man for the job, I believe.
Essentially, so to that extent.
And okay, back then that made sense.
Yeah, I can understand that it wasn't Snyder who picked him; it was the studio who picked him.
Yep, Warner Brothers.
Yeah, Snyder unfortunately had the tragic event of having his daughter self-delete.
Yes.
For all of you watching, that's actually not us trying to make a joke out of it. It's just unfortunate with the YouTube algorithm. Certain words are a big no-no.
Yeah, and I take a moment, but if you know, even with a lot of mental health issues, a lot of my friends have dealt with mental health issues over the years. If you need help, there are sources. There are people you can talk to. You know,
you're absolutely right. I'm, as a person that suffered depression for many years, I'm, like personally, I'm happy about the support group and my friends.
Yeah.
I feel bad about it. I know I lean on a lot of you guys so much, but from the bottom of my heart, thank you all.
Nobody's going to be upset, and none of your friends will be upset if you lean on them for help. It's just, we all love you. So
very well put. Zack, unfortunately, was dealt a very unfortunate hand, and to which the studio had to step in. Unfortunately, I keep forgetting his name. I want to say it's Walter Hamada. I could be wrong.
I don't.
He was one of the execs for Warner Brothers, and he made the decision that we need to rush this film so we can. It's rumored.
Yes. There's nothing confirmed.
Not confirmed. We don't have any insight or sources onto this.
I don't have the rumored. CEOs on speed dial.
I do, but they're not returning my calls.
What did you do?
From my understanding, the rumors are stating that Walter Hamada went and said, "Hey, so I want to get this movie out by November. Well, we're gonna need some time. If you look at what Zack was planning on doing, see, if we don't get it out by November, I don't get my bonus."
And to be honest, would not be surprised if that was the case.
All right, and that's one of the reasons why when you go and you look at just beat a dead horse about something I've always said, a well-oiled machine like the MCU. Have they done things I don't agree with? Yeah, sure. But you know what? On a story arc point of view, it has very minimal issues. Yeah. Why? Because the company went and they looked at Kevin Feige and they said, you know what? The reins are in your hands. Do what you need to do.
Yeah. You know what they say? It's that famous quote. A delayed game may be good. A rush game will always be bad.
Yeah, very much
and
true.
That's what happened with this movie. They pushed it out. They rushed it out. They didn't give what it needed. They didn't get, and when the fact is you're trying to meet a release date, then you got one director, something happens, and you get another director, something happens, and you got to get a third director. And it's like, this movie was never given a chance. Now we're going back to the original director and his original vision. And again, conspiracy theories and all of that probably had nothing to do with Warner Brothers, had all entirely with AT&T going, why are we leaving wasted money on the table? What's $30 million to us? And we're going to get all these subscriptions and we're going to rake in, say, $200 million from that. It's pittance.
And at the end of the day, especially if you map it out properly, if money is indeed what you're looking for, you map it out properly, you get a better payday.
Exactly.
When I started the job that I'm working now, I was once told, listen, I would rather you do 10 things right than 100 things wrong.
Yeah.
And I really feel, because the studio's constant meddling. Again, look at Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Yes.
All right. We had you and I, amongst a bunch of other people, went to go see this movie in theaters. All right. We went with Angry Gnome.
Yes.
I sat next to Angry Gnome
and watched him have literal aneurysms. Oh my goodness!
The scene when young Bruce Wayne was picked up by the flock of
bats. Remember.
I heard him go, "Oh no!" The movie had its flaws. All right, I'm actually one of the defenders of the movies to this day, especially when if you go and look at the unrated cut.
Yeah. All
right, or you can say prototype Snyder cut. It was a much better film.
Yeah.
Why? Because they went like, all right, this is the ultimate cut, director's cut. This is how the director wanted this to flow, but the studio was all like, we wanted to be a little under the 3-hour mark.
Yeah.
All right, because I'll tell you one thing about Zack Snyder, the man can dream big.
He doesn't always hit it out the park, but
I got a vision for a 4-hour film. Whoa. Let's make it like a hard 239.
Yeah, that seems to be the magic number for studios.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's their hard limit.
Yes. And don't even get me started with movie lengths because it feels it's just going to get longer and longer, but that's another episode.
And then I might get my money's worth.
Who knows?
We had
I
that
think watching a film for 3 days.
Scorsese's in town?
Yeah, with everything coming to light, I'm happy the man has got the chance to go and show the film he intended. All right, which part of me makes me like for a lot of directors, I would love to get a Trank cut. I really would. I want to see the version of Fantastic Four that I was intended to see, because that's another movie. When you look at the trailer to the movie, night and day.
You know what? Even if they did that, I don't even think he got to film all the scenes he wanted.
Yeah, because they were all like, "I want to film this scene, and we gotta go have lunch on us."
That's exactly yeah. Like, because if you don't know, in the industry, a lot of times these big budget movies, they have like guest directors.
Mm-hmm.
They'll come on scene, they'll take over, they'll be directing that one scene, and you know, from the rumors, you know, Tank he would say, "Okay, you guys got this." He'll go and come back, and the studio, like in between him leaving, studios coming, no, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do it this way, and it was not what was in the script. It was not what it was. They
Notingly enough, right before the movie came out, literally the night, because first off, one of the biggest red flags for any film that's coming out. See, when a movie is coming out, as you and I would know, when a movie is coming out, there is usually a press release for the film in which any person of media or of a lot of critics are able to have a chance to go watch the film and critique the film after the embargo is lifted.
Yes.
Fantastic Four, as we jokingly call Fant Four Stick, it had no press release.
Yes.
At all.
It just...
It went straight to the main release. If you were impressed, you saw the film the same time everyone else saw the film.
Yeah. You went on like a late Thursday night to try to have your review up for Friday morning.
Excuse me. Exactly. All right. And that led director Josh Trank to go out and say, "This is not the film I intended to direct."
Yeah.
All right. But I feel that's just been Control-C, Control-V all over the place.
Yes.
You know, I think, Warner Brothers needs to get his house in order. I also feel Lucasfilm definitely needs to get his house under order.
I agree. I think it's going to be a couple of years before that gets fixed, though.
Yeah, Sony's somewhat, once they figure out what they're doing,
Well, they might. I mean, with the new Morbius movie coming out in 6 years.
Yes. Followed by another 7 years for New Mutants.
Yeah. Right.
And another 20 for The Flash.
Jeez. So.
All right. But, yeah. Any other thing you want to add to that?
Zack Snyder. Give me more.
Well, he's also got another movie called The Army of the Dead, which is actually going to have Batista in it. And from what I'm seeing on it, it seems interesting. Now, granted, they did like certain set preparations and all that stuff, and right as they were getting ready to film, Tom Hanks virus. Sorry, Tom Hanks disease.
Well, yeah, there you go. Tom Hanks disease.
Yeah, I've been informed I'm not allowed to use the Toretto drink virus anymore.
Jeez, it's not a thing. I keep telling you.
Will you grow up? All right, but yeah, that's our show.
Is it?
Is there anything else unless we keep going and we just have the crew cut of the show?
Oh, jeez.
Taking it back old school. Yeah, that's our show. I want to thank everyone for watching. Do us a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, and eventually at some point Rex is going to figure out the thing about the bell notification and whatnot. No rush. Please don't. I don't want to overwhelm the man. The man does a lot. You guys have no idea. All right. I have been DJ. He has been Rex. And we are
the Sons of Cinema. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, stop saying it. It's my line.
I can never win with you. This is a very abusive marriage.
They're never going to hear that.